What's up, wrestling fans? Hardcore Kid here with another episode of the Hardcore Podcast. Joining me tonight, as always, I have Otaku Nate.
New Japan and Ring of Honor at Madison Square Garden, home of the WWE for God knows how many years. If you had told me this a year ago, I would have said it was a miracle.
Yeah, as you can tell, Nate is a big New Japan guy, and this was his chance to see a New Japan show, and we got to see a mix. It's a combination of both a Ring of Honor and a New Japan show at Madison Square Garden, New York City. And yeah, we got to see it live, and we saw it right after going to WrestleCon at the hotel. What hotel was it again?
It was at the Hilton.
Hilton Hotel, and we got to meet a few wrestlers there. I got autographs from Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and Ric Flair, and ironically, they were the most expensive guys there. So
I got to see Atsushi Onita, the founder of FMW, Taka Michinoku, who was on the show tonight. I met Killer Cross, and I didn't get a photo with him, but I spoke with him, put it over his match at Bloodsport, which we should review in the future. Great show. I also got to meet Sweaty Gray T-Shirt Man, Dan the Beast Severn, Jake the Snake Roberts. I got to meet my kayfabe dad, Tony Schiavone, and last but not least, Jake, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And it was a decent walk going from the Hilton to the.
The weather was wonderful.
The weather was great. There was no rain, unlike the WrestleMania night where everybody got stuck. And when we were walking on our way to the garden, we passed a Scottish Day Parade. I wouldn't be surprised if those were the same guys who came out for Drew McIntyre's entrance when he came out for WrestleMania. But yeah, it was a good time. Got some good autographs. Got a good lunch. And the G1 SuperCard show. I didn't watch NXT TakeOver, but I heard it was really good. But between this and WrestleMania, in terms of wrestling, or in terms of storytelling, I think WrestleMania did a good job with the storytelling, but the G1 SuperCard did a better job with the wrestling quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were some great matches.
Without question.
Like, the New Japan matches were really good. The Ring of Honor matches were a bit of a mixed bag. There were a few crummy matches here, but I did like the ladder match. I thought the four-way tag match was also a lot of fun. And lots of wacky moments, including one wacky moment we'll talk about later on in the show. But
two.
Perfect. But yeah, we'll talk about each match, and we'll let you know what we thought about each one. We'll start. There was a six-way women's match between a bunch of girls that, unfortunately, I've never heard of.
Yeah, I didn't really. I watched some of it. It was a good match.
Two of the women had athletic tape on their necks.
Yeah, two of them were dressed up as what are called skabon in Japan. Basically, they're the equivalent of what are called bancho in Japanese school culture. Basically, these are guys who, are thugs, tough guys, what have you. Skabon is the female equivalent of a bancho. They're basically known for wearing colored uniforms with very long skirts.
And athletic tape on their necks?
I'm not sure if that was athletic tape on the knuckles.
I wasn't sure if that was a gimmick or they're just both hurt. But
I think they're both hurt.
Yeah, it was a nothing match. They had moments here, but I really can't remember anything. So I can't give it a rating. But after that, we got a mini Royal Rumble between all the New Japan and the Ring of Honor guys, and it's called the
Honor Rumble.
Honor Rumble?
It was the Honor Rumble.
Honor Rumble, and basically, it's like the Royal Rumble, except all the wrestlers come out in like 30-second intervals.
Yeah, the length of time seemed to change with each entry. I went to another Rumble like this, Northeast Wrestling. Be ready to hear that name over and over again tonight. Northeast Wrestling's Over the Top Rumble, and everybody came out at random intervals, it seemed like. Most of it was guys who were either on the card earlier tonight or tag teams that weren't on the card.
Yeah, but I got the list right here. We'll crank through it. Number 1 was Kenny King, who requested number 1 spot.
And he got some heat from that, but the second guy who came out was The Real King, my favorite wrestler on the New Japan roster, the man with the world's worst personality.
And the world's worst haircut.
Hey, I like that haircut. Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
The Kaze ni Nare he got when he entered that ring was incredible. I just wish the arena was full for the full effect, but hey, I don't want to turn into Dave Meltzer with those remarks.
This is a scary guy, and I hear this guy is he does not like any of the rookie wrestlers.
The young lions. When they're told about the things they have to endure during their training, one of the many scary things they have to endure is Minoru Suzuki, and he is not afraid to hurt those young lions. Remember, Minoru Suzuki is a legitimate shooter. He was trained by Karl Gotch. He knows how to hurt people.
Number 3 was Cheeseburger. He got chopped into beef by Suzuki almost immediately. Number 4 was the Beer City Bruiser.
Sorry.
You're doing your best Vinny impression, huh?
Funnily enough, Vinny Verhey, he's in better shape than the Beer City Bruiser.
Hey, you met Brian and Vinny this weekend,
Yeah, I went to a Black Label Pro. I saw Brian Alvarez have his match with Orange Cassidy. I shook hands with Brian and Vinny after the show. Big Vinny is now Skinny Vinny.
Hey, he said he's lost like 30 pounds or something like that. He looks good.
Looks like it, when I saw him, it looked like more than that. But I told Brian that he had a great match with Orange Cassidy, and if you guys want a good comedy wrestler, I would recommend Orange Cassidy over Joey Ryan any day of the week. I am not a fan of Joey Ryan.
No, I'm not a big fan of dick jokes. Joey Ryan is literally one big dick joke.
Well, with Joey Ryan, it's one joke, but with Orange Cassidy, the big problem with Orange Cassidy, it's a case of diminishing returns. Like, once you see one Orange Cassidy match, you kind of seen them all. But he's still a funny guy. I like him.
So, the rest, for a while, it was just all wrestlers piling into the ring, no eliminations. Eventually, Beer City Bruiser got eliminated.
Yeah,
but then he returned in his second form. Actually, I'm just kidding. It's the other bruiser, Brian Milanis, who looked even fatter than Beer City. Which
it looks like if Vader ate a clone of himself.
he is enormous.
Do you want to talk about the other people who came in as well?
Cripes almighty. You had
Show and no, hang on. All right.
I'm looking at the thing. It's Show. Number 5 was Show. Number 6 was Shingo. 7 was Bushi.
Yeah.
8 is Yo.
There was a really good spot where somebody threw Bushi in the corner, and everybody, they basically had a conga line of clotheslines.
Oh, that was
on
awesome.
Bushi. It was just one after the other, like, huh. It's like going on one of those whip rides at, like, Dorney Park or Kennywood.
It was beautiful. Like, the match itself, like Royal Rumbles are usually a clusterfuck, and for the most part it was, but it did have its fun moments here and there.
Yeah. So yeah, Sho, Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and Yo were numbers 5 through 8. Then we had Shaheem Ali, who I have no idea who it is. Number 10 is Rhett Titus, and I know Rhett Titus because I cheered him at House of Hardcore. And
you were the only person who cheered him at that show.
Hey, I had to root for the local guy. Give me a break. Then we have LSG. LSG and Shaheem Ali are a part of a tag team called Coast to Coast. Sounds like a Northeast Wrestling tag team. There's my second mention of Northeast Wrestling. Number 12, Ryusuke Taguchi, former leader of Taguchi Japan. He came out in his rugby gear. He had like one of those rugby hats on, he had a rugby shirt on, and he had a rugby ball which he used to throw into the face of somebody.
You sure he was? I'm sure. How many audience members got hurt last night?
I think only one did. We'll talk about that. But yeah, Taguchi, big pop for Taguchi. As usual, he hit him with his signature hip attack, the funky weapon, which basically it's Ryusuke Taguchi jumping into the air and hitting people with his ass.
I call it the flying ass attack.
I like the official name more, the funky weapon.
Yeah.
Which, you know, considering that he's a sweaty guy hitting you with that move, it probably is a funky weapon.
Whew.
And we had Will Ferrara come in. I don't know if he's related to Ed Ferrara.
Yeah.
And up next, Chase Owens, or as I call him, Bullet Club's Virgil. Everybody keeps forgetting he exists. Like, I think I can remember the 29th entry into the Royal Rumble more than I remember Chase Owens.
15, Rocky Romero.
So we had all of Roppongi 3K in there. And I just want to say this about Rocky Romero. With the intro video of him wearing that eye patch combined with his golden gear, if he styled his hair differently, he would make a decent cosplay of Goro Majima from the Yakuza games.
Yeah. And number 16 was Brian Milanis, a.k.a. Beer City Bruisers, Big Buddy. 17 was Bad Luck Fale.
My favorite member of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, Bullet Club's still a thing.
Bullet Club is still a thing. I think they're better now that the Elite have left them. Like, they can now get back to basics and reestablish their identity, because the Elite became so big that they basically overshadowed the original members of the Bullet Club, which is why the Bullet Club split into two last year before all the Elite members left, save for Marty Scurll, and now they're back with the Jay White as their leader.
Let's see. Number 18, Jonathan Gresham.
Jonathan Gresham is tiny.
Indeed.
He's like 5'1" or something. Like, Nathan Gerby, the smallest player in the NHL, is taller than him.
I'm probably taller than him. And, Colin Delaney? He was the short guy from ECW. He's taller than me.
Well, the cameras take off a few inches.
Indeed. I talked to him and he said, wow, you look shorter on TV. But, number 19 was Tracy Williams.
Hot sauce.
20 is Yoshihashi.
Ah, Yoshihashi, the Baron Corbin of New Japan. Everybody on that roster, you have some of the most talented wrestlers on earth working for New Japan, and Yoshihashi. I honestly can't, I shouldn't be saying such harsh things. He's a decent hand around the ring at New Japan, and he's got a smoking hot wife he's married to. So he's living the dream.
Carl Anderson will tell you, it's good to have a hot Japanese wife. Number 21 is PJ Black, a.k.a. Justin Gabriel. Even outside of WWE, he's still getting squashed in 10 seconds.
What is with that hairdo that he had? Like, he had like a bun, but he had like a little French braid around it, like it was a crown or something. But also, you really have to admire PJ Black for getting back into the ring after that base jumping accident.
Yeah, I heard he lost a finger.
Yeah, I need to hear more about the story, man.
Number 22, in the midst of his big retirement tour, Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah, I have to mention this right now. I watched this on the Fight.tv feed, and they had to dub over some of the entrance music.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they dubbed over Liger's theme, they dubbed over Ryusuke Taguchi's theme, and most tragically, Minoru Suzuki's theme.
God damn it.
I think it's because those are actual licensed music tracks and not, free range stuff or what have you. So...
Yeah. I hate when they always have to do that. They do that on the WWE Network, too.
Well...
Like there was a short period where Hogan was coming out to Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix.
Well, yeah, that was his WCW theme when he was Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
And they just dubbed it over with, like, the regular NWO theme?
Yeah, over and over again. 23 is TK O'Ryan.
I know TK O'Ryan because, again, first ever show I went, Northeast Wrestling, Wrestling Under the Stars, 2016. He was there. First match, too.
24 is Vinny Marsalia.
Couldn't tell you anything about him.
25 is Lizard Man.
Delirious is who it is.
Delirious.
Lucha Underground reject he looked like.
Yeah, but he got some major heat. Like, everybody just booed him when he came out. 26 is Ishii.
Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull. And the pop he got when he came out, as soon as everybody heard that siren, followed by the barking dogs, as soon as the barrel with arms and legs came out, everybody started cheering because they know somebody's gonna die. He got a good little stare down with Suzuki, man. I could watch Suzuki and Ishii go at it all day, because you can tell that both are willing to shoot on one another. Like, Suzuki has a background in shoot fighting, and I'm pretty sure that Ishii was trained by actual shooters.
27 is Yano.
Toru Yano.
Well, it was supposed to be Yano,
well,
but...
here, I'll take care of, I'll take over from here. So, Toru Yano comes out, he stands on the entrance ramp, then walks off to the side into the announce booth, and I was watching this on Fight.tv. He goes into the booth, holding something, and it's Colt Cabana's elbow pad. He tags in Colt Cabana, who enters the ring, while Toru Yano takes his place on commentary.
Well, and it is legal. If you can replace Lana with Becky Lynch in a Rumble randomly, just replace Colt with Yano Colt replace Yano in a Rumble out of nowhere. Because rules? What's rules?
It's wrestling, man. It's dumb, and I love it.
28 is Goto.
Hiroki Goto.
Yeah. 29 is King Haku.
Ah, Haku. He got a huge pop. Well, you do know why King Haku is in the match, right?
Because he isn't he the dad of some of the Bullet Club members?
Yes, he is the father of Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. Those are his adopted sons.
Okay.
And given Tama Tonga and Tongaloa's antics, they learned well from their dad. Don't know if they know how to bite somebody's nose off.
I gotta give him credit. He's like, what, in his 50s?
Yeah, he is.
He was bumping like crazy.
Well, Haku...
When he got eliminated, I almost thought he was about to die.
Somebody died tonight.
Oh.
And I'm not talking about the audience. We'll get to that. Funny, if you actually watch his entrance, like, not only is he extremely slow, he almost trips while walking down the ramp.
Oof.
And then it takes him forever to get out of his gear. And so, we think, well, okay, let me preface this. So, Haku goes after Colt Cabana, and immediately Toru Yano is afraid of his friend, because he and Colt Cabana are legitimate buddies. So Toru Yano abandons his spot on commentary and jumps right into the ring to break up Haku, who's about to give Colt Cabana a choke slam. So that's all 30 guys, right?
Well,
well, the clock starts counting down again, and the announcers are going, wait, I thought there was 30 people in this Rumble. We have a 31? Number 30, out comes Keiji Muto, the Great Muta.
In 2019.
And, you know, Brian Alvarez said it best about Keiji Muto, at least in his latter days. Keiji Muto is able to make it look like he's moving when he's not moving at all. Like, he came out in this ridiculous suit of armor. And I get it that it's part of his gimmick and all, but considering that Keiji Muto's knees are made up of chewing gum, scotch tape, paper clips, and a bunch of hope, it must have been extremely cumbersome. He looked like a super-powered Ivan Ooze, if that makes any sense. And naturally, he takes off the armor and he's wearing that really cool mask he has. Like, next to Hayabusa, I think latter-day Keiji Muto has my favorite mask in all of wrestling.
Yeah, basically, everybody just starts eliminating each other, and then it's down to, allegedly, Muta and Liger. So we're gonna. It's down to Muta and Liger, and whoever wins this is going to get a shot at the Ring of Honor championship.
Well, it's the two members of the Kingdom that are the final four. It's Jushin Liger and Keiji Muto. Liger and Muto eliminate the last two members of the Kingdom, but then, from out of nowhere, pulling an example from a certain other king in wrestling, from under the ring comes Kenny King, and he eliminates both Liger and Keiji Muto.
Like geeks. Just threw him out like nothing.
They got their post-match beatdown on Kenny King.
Yeah, Muta sprayed mist in King's face. So, hey, at least everybody was happy to see Liger and Muta out there.
As Kevin Mann from the Attitude Era podcast says, don't let a screwy finish get in the way of a great match.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was just the pre-match Rumble. We still got to go on to the main card now.
Oh, boy.
Yep, so we'll start off with the opening of this. It's, let's see, it's the never open-weight champion Will Osprey versus my main man, the Ring of Honor TV title champion, the Monster Matanza, Jeff Cobb.
And this was a great way to start off the show. Like, I've heard a lot of people don't like Will Osprey because, you know, he's a guy who does flips and all that, and we hate flippy guys and all that stuff, but here, Osprey kept the flippy stuff to a minimum. Like, he was still doing a lot of aerial maneuvers, but it didn't feel like he was showing off, because you have a guy who does a lot of high-flying like Osprey versus a more ground-based wrestler like Jeff Cobb. It's a great clash of styles, and this was a fantastic match, and I have to say, Will Osprey sold like a champion. There was a great spot where Jeff Cobb chops Will Osprey on top of the ring post, and Osprey just makes this face like, "Ah!"
He sounded like a Wookiee.
well, he didn't grunt, but that's what it sounded like. And that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It was just back and forth stuff, acrobatics from Will Osprey. Osprey hit a Sasuke special. Jeff Cobb caught him and tried to throw him to the mat, but Osprey just countered it. Great aerial counters from Will Osprey. Great suplexes from Jeff and all that.
Yep, but in the end, Cobb was able to hit him with the Tour of the Islands and pin Osprey, and now he's both the Ring of Honor TV champion and the Never Openweight champion. It's a good day to be Jeff Cobb, I'd say.
And now Jeff Cobb's going to have to face off against Taichi from Suzuki-gun, and that's going to be interesting, because Taichi isn't the best wrestler, but he's great at getting heat. He's a very good sneaky heel. It's called the slyest wrestler on earth. Yeah. So that should be fun.
Yeah, that should be fun. I'm a big fan of Jeff Cobb. Like, believe it or not, the first time I saw him was when he was as Matanza. I had never heard of Jeff Cobb before Lucha Underground. This guy's a real motherfucker. He's 5'9", 5'10". When I met him at WrestleCast, he was Starcast. He was like my height, but he's a scary motherfucker. And you can see him in this match. He's just lifting Osprey up and just throwing him around.
Yeah, it's like just the way he tosses Osprey across the arena, man.
It's awesome.
Also, I just want to say I love Will Ospreay's theme. It sounds like Imagine Dragons if Imagine Dragons didn't eat a bag of dicks.
Yeah, but definitely a great opener, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this match an 8. How about you?
I'm not going to give anything star ratings.
No?
I'm not that way. I just want to say I really enjoyed this match, or this match was the pits, and speaking of that, let's get to the next match.
Roush versus Dalton Castle.
Roush. It's Roush.
Oh my god. If anybody dares make fun of me for pronouncing names, I'll give them something to Roush about. But,
boo.
I don't have to say much about, Roush, because this match only went 20 seconds. He hit him with the running drop kick and the bullhorns a few times, pinned him. 20 seconds this match went.
I like to say that this match was basically Roush murdering Dalton Castle.
This was a legit killing right here in this ring.
Also, Dalton Castle came out to a instrumental version of "I Want It All" by Queen.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, if you listen to Dalton Castle's music, it's very much supposed to be "I Want It All" by Queen.
And his character is kind of supposed to be like a Freddie Mercury gimmick, doesn't it?
I showed him to my parents, and they said he's wrestling Elton John.
I don't know. Yeah. But then right after the match...
Well, considering that it's Dalton Castle and his boys...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then right after the match, Dalton completely has a meltdown. He beats up the boys.
Well, the boys offered him to sit on their throne.
Ugh. No. Yeah, and,
got some heat from the crowd.
Dalton is not a happy camper. Yeah, well, I can't give a rating to this match since it only went 15 seconds. But
I gotta say though, I love Roush. The dude looks like a total
he looks
stud.
like a beast.
He's like 200 and some pounds. Like he's like Mexican Bruiser Brody.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Roush, but I don't know. I'll have to look into his matches because he looks like is he a heel or a face?
He's a heel. He's the leader of Los Ingobernables in Mexico.
Yeah, and they had like the entire faction on here. What was it again? Los
Ingobernables de Japón.
Yeah,
we had Shingo Takagi and Bushi in the Honor Rumble. The other two members were in a tag match. Hiromu is still hurt. He should be back by May. And Tetsuya Naito was in the IC match, and we'll get to that later.
Yep, so right after the match, they show like a really short clip of Juice Robinson just laying on the ground backstage. Like
one of his attackers running away.
They didn't even do a good job showing who it was, but I think it was one of Bubba's boys.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was, you could tell.
So
he was just lying there, that's what it was.
I think he was just taking a nap. The Women of Honor title match between the Ring of Honor Women's Champion Mayu Iwatani and Kelly Klein. Kelly Klein, all they show in her video package is her looking mean and shots of her putting a wrestler in a rest hold because wrestling.
This match, the crowd was dead.
Yeah, I can't even tell you anything about the match because I didn't even bother watch it.
I rewatched it and I still couldn't tell you anything. This is the last match I watched really, but it was it was less botchy than the main event of WrestleMania 35, mostly because these girls actually know how to work like girls and not like, they're heavyweights. But yeah, this match, it was a nothing match. Kelly Klein would pin Mayu Iwatani and win the Women of Honor Championship. But we had perhaps our first goofy moment of the night because we had a run-in.
The beautiful people!
The beautiful people have arrived! And the crowd goes mild.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. You know how the beautiful people do their entrance where they go through the ropes and show off their asses to the camera? They didn't show their asses on the screens up there. Did they show it in the recording?
I missed it because
how could you miss those asses?
Oh, but those at least they could have played some music, but it wasn't just the beautiful people.
Like the beautiful people music is actually surprisingly catchy, but like it's just angry. It's like some angry dude going girl, but it's cool.
It's supposed to be like the Marilyn Manson knockoff,
something like that.
And then
and Angelina Love, who I think she just had a baby.
I think so.
Doesn't have a baby stomach. She still looks as skinny as she used to.
And also, Mandy Leon came out wearing a disco ball.
Yeah, and apparently she was. It started off and made it look like she was with Kelly, but then she just turns on Kelly and the beautiful people hairspray Kelly.
Well,
and just leave her
they're
alone.
not the beautiful people anymore. They're called Allure.
Allure.
Guess they couldn't get the trademark from
I hate
Impact.
the name already.
Still a better name than the Welcoming Committee.
At least the Welcoming Committee is something I can remember.
Or the Shining
What
Stars.
does allure even mean?
Allure is basically, like, charming. Allure or alluring means charming. Like, they exert a romantic aura to them. They're seductive.
Well then. So, I went to the bathroom before this next match started. Apparently, Mega Ran did a performance.
Yeah, Mega Ran did a performance. Crowd was pretty much booing it because, concerts at wrestling events never go over well. Just ask Kiss when they performed at WCW.
Oh, come on. I like Kiss. But Bubba Ray came out. He told Mega Ran he was going to kick his ass. Does, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he runs off. So, Juice Robinson is out in the back, so he calls for an open challenge for a street fight.
And who shows up?
It's Flip Gordon!
Flip! 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 Flip!
Yeah, Flip Gordon is the the little well, he was part of the Elite, and then I guess once the Elite went their separate ways, he just disappeared from the group.
He was also on that first Northeast Wrestling show that I went to.
Yeah, so Flip comes out, and he and Bubba have a bit of a match, and Bubba ends up beating the hell out of him. He gets the table and is about to set it up, but Flip fires back, and then not Devon and not Al Snow come out.
Shane Taylor and Silas Young. And
Silas Young, isn't it?
I thought it was Silas. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Again, Behemoth, Behemoth, who cares? I'm just going to refer to them as not Devon and not Al Snow. Yeah, it looks like Flip is about to be killed by these three giant men. And then Juice Robinson comes out with Mark Haskins with a dumpster full of toys.
You know, also to big ECW chants.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Juice Robinson. Ever since he left the WWE meat grinder, he has just been incredible on his own, developing his own character as the flamboyant one. He is just living it up. He is a star wherever he goes, whether he decides to stay with New Japan or go to AEW. He will be a great main eventer. He's got the size. He's got the look. He's got the charisma. He can cut great promos. Just, perfect.
Yes. So this match it turned into a six-person hardcore match. And,
it wasn't a tag match though. For
no,
whatever reason.
It's just to go out there, hit each other with a bunch of shit, and then
they did a kendo spot where they sword fighted. I don't really remember much about this.
There was
match.
a part where Flip Gordon is Silas and Bully and not Devon are in the ring with kendo sticks and
Shane Taylor.
Taylor.
There were chants of he's not Devon.
Yeah.
I'm not Devon!
Thank you for giving me recurring nightmares again. And so, they take turns hitting Flip with kendo sticks. Flip Gordon had the most disgusting welts on his back after those kendo stick shots. And
I've seen worse in FMW,
oh my
man.
God.
No, man, watch FMW. The bodies after some of those guys in those hardcore matches just...
So, they continued doing shit. Taylor got a pallet that looked like it was made out of redneck balsa wood, and Juice ended up hitting a cannonball onto Taylor.
It looked like he missed.
Oops. And
like he went up the pallet and into the ring post.
And then Haskins did the "What's up?" headbutt on Bully.
And I hate diving headbutts.
Yeah.
I hate diving headbutts and I hate spots on the apron.
They're still doing that, even though that's basically what made Chris Benoit completely get a scramble.
Chris Benoit, Dynamite Kid, Daniel Bryan, Harley Race, the man who basically popularized the move, regrets ever doing it.
Yeah. And Gordon went through a table. Think did Bully go through a table at some point too?
I don't know.
I don't remember, but... Yeah, Flip Gordon hit the 450 on Bubba for the win. It was a match.
Yeah, it was a mess. It's a good popcorn match and a good. This is sort of like the lowest point of the show, and then it starts picking up again.
The next match was much better. It's a three-way dance for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's with the champion Taiji Ishimori, Dragon Lee, and Bandito, and this was a fun lucha-style match.
But yeah, it's a junior heavyweight match, so you know what that means. High spots!
Lots of flips and cartwheels and flippy doodads.
I tell you, them guys who do flips are killing the business.
Yeah, like I don't follow the IWGP Junior class that much since like Nate and I we usually watch like the big main events like the Okada and the Ibushi matches, but these three guys they all looked really good. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of stuff in. Dragon Lee ended up getting the win. And, lots of fun. That's really all I could say about it.
Yeah, it was what it was supposed to be. Just a big old spot fest. The good kind of spot fest, though. Not like your typical indie match, just a bunch of guys just flipping around, doing a bunch of, as Kevin Mann calls it, flip-de-doos.
Yep, so, the next match, oh boy, here we go. It's the four-way match for both the ROH and IWGP tag team matches. It's between the Gorillas of Destiny, the ROH tag champs PCO and Brody King,
Villain Enterprises,
Brody King, the Briscoes, and Sonata and Evil.
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Indeed. Well, again, this was another really fun match. But the big highlight was right before the match started. PCO got his big entrance.
Yeah, PCO got his Garden entrance. This is actually not his first time at the Garden. He was in WrestleMania 10, where he and Jacques Rougeau fought Men on a Mission.
Oh, God. What a 10-star classic I'm sure that was.
I think Meltzer gave it a star and a quarter or something.
Yeah, but they had an electric chair for him. They gave him shock treatment because PCO is not human. And then he goes down, and then they have this match.
For those of you who don't know what Brandon is talking about, just watch any vignette with PCO, man.
He is batshit crazy.
You want to talk about a guy who's reinvented himself, man? I love PCO's gimmick, and I think more people should take lesson from PCO as to how you get yourself over. He is 52 years old, and he has figured it out.
So this match only went 10 minutes, but it was a fun 10 minutes. They got all their stuff in.
Naturally, because it's a 4-team tag match, it's a big clusterfuck.
Yeah. I will say it wasn't as confusing as, say, the WrestleMania four-way tag match where you had to actually tag in your opponents in order to get into the match. No,
yeah,
this was just it's four teams. You go in there, you try and fight. There you go. But yeah, PCO this motherfucker ended up getting he ended up getting knocked right out of the ring, and he landed almost on his head.
Yeah, I was about to say, PCO dies in this match.
He dies, and then he comes back to life.
Yeah, don't worry. Just get Destro some car batteries. He'll figure it all out.
Yep.
I gotta say, though, PCO's big move is a moonsault, a classic finishing move. It's the scariest moonsault I've ever seen. Not in that it looks lethal, but PCO gets no air from it. He just falls.
Ugh. Yeah, but he's still alive, astonishingly, and but after he's gone, what is this? Gorillas of Destiny. They hit the gun stun on King.
This was also the I believe this was the debut. No, it wasn't the debut of their new music, but their new single for their theme dropped the other day. By the way, likely an homage to the Shield. It has it mentions their code name, Gulf something and Delta. I don't know what O is.
Omega, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Gulf Omega Delta.
Sounds like good. Yeah.
G-O-D.
G-O-D. Yeah, but they hit the God Stun on King. They hit the Super Bomb, and Gorillas of Destiny now win the ROH Tag Championships to go with their IWGP Tag Championships.
But there was one problem with that, though.
What's that?
They shouldn't have given the tag belts to Toru Yano.
Oh, and why is that?
Well, because Toru Yano, naturally being Toru Yano is basically like a Bugsy McGraw sort of character, where he's basically like a comedic character. And, it's like, hey, guys, I got your belts. You want them? Come get them. Bye. Like, just watch any comedy bit with Toru Yano. To anyone who ever says that, New Japan has no characters or no gimmicks, let me introduce you to Toru Yano. The dude is a funny guy. Same with Ryusuke Taguchi. Toru Yano has more charisma than Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, and most of the 205 Live guys put together.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's more entertaining than Enzo, right?
You take care of this one.
Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. So, the match has ended, the music's playing, and then all of a sudden, I'm looking down around ringside, and I see Bubba Ray coming out and just brawling with somebody.
I saw two guys jump the ring, and I'm like, oh, great. First at Bret Hart's Hall of Fame induction, and now this. God, Disco Inferno's right. Wrestling fans are the worst. And
then I look closely, and I see a person with blonde hair sticking up, and
ramen hair, instant ramen hair.
And I'm thinking, no, don't tell me this is Enzo. It was Enzo. Fucking A.
But it wasn't just Enzo.
It was also Cass. So here's the story. So we're looking up at the screens while all this is going on, and they never once show Enzo and Cass on the screen. They're just focusing on the Gorillas of Destiny holding their championships while their music is playing. So I'm thinking, oh god, this is Enzo running in, just like he did at that one WWE show earlier on in the year where security threw him out. It was, we found out a few hours later that it turns out it's all a work.
Oh my god.
And that Enzo and Cass are now in Ring of Honor.
God help us all.
Look here! Listen! Yes, I just quoted Wings of Redemption. Blow me. Enzo is an idiot. I know, he's friends with my aunt and uncle. I have that video of him giving me a shout-out. Cool. You know what? He's still an idiot. He's an idiot. He's a terrible wrestler. He has very little very little training, and just Ring of Honor just decides to accept him and Cass.
Apparently, like it was a decision by the higher ups.
Who are the higher ups?
Either way, Enzo and Cass are fucking idiots.
Oh god. Like Cass has done some dumb shit. Enzo's also done some stupid shit. The fact that you're just gonna let these guys in, it's like a UFC still having John Jones main event pay-per-views even after all the dumb shit he's done.
They're the wrestling equivalent of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
Oof, that's you're giving Antonio Brown too much credit.
I actually no. Considering that Enzo has that shitty rap album, he's both Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
I would rather listen to Le'Veon Bell rap than listen to Enzo's whatever
consensual penis.
Consensual penis. Jesus God, man.
In that case, Cass is Ben Roethlisberger, because have you seen him post WWE?
Oh,
he is
literally Captain Fat Fuck. he has to be fatter than Cassius Ohno right now.
Oh no.
No, that was. Ring of Honor are in a stoop right now.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, because
I'll at least give them credit for trying to do something different.
Yeah.
But it's the wrong people at the wrong time.
I don't know. Maybe Enzo will redeem himself.
I hope he gets trained by both Shibata and Suzuki. Because as I said, those guys are shooters. And they are gonna make sure Enzo and Cass get special training.
I'm sure they brought Enzo to the back to meet Suzuki after this incident, didn't they?
I'm guessing those punches were not open-fisted.
The good news is we got this next match. It's the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship between champion Zack Sabre Jr. and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
And I know a lot of people, they say they hate Zack Sabre Jr. They say he's boring, that he has no charisma, that they don't like his style, but I'm gonna be honest, I like Zack Sabre Jr.
He seemed very toned down when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. Like he was doing some submissions, and then it was just like it just seemed like that there was just we could see so much more out of Zack Sabre Jr. than just what they're doing in the WWE. This is I think outside of the Cruiserweight Classic, I think this is the first Zack Sabre Jr. match I've watched in whole.
I've seen.
God damn, he's good.
I've seen highlights of it. You should watch his match with Kota Ibushi from the New Japan Cup. I love the way that Zack Sabre Jr. uses his body to his advantage, because I know a lot of people will make fun of ZSJ because he's a very skinny guy.
He's surprisingly skinny. I'm amazed his legs don't break on him.
Well, there's a reason as to why he's so skinny. It's so that you can't grab onto him. Because if he had like the body of, say, Tomohiro Ishii or like a Steve Austin, then you could easily like grab onto his chest or what have you. But ZSJ, he uses his body like an anaconda to constrict his opponents. And he's fought Tanahashi before, and he's managed to both tap out Tanahashi and have him pull off a win via ref stoppage. And this was pretty much more the same of ZSJ just absolutely killing Hiroshi Tanahashi. He worked over his arm the entire match, Tanahashi tried to keep going for the high fly flow, which is his big finisher. It's a frog splash, but ZSJ just prevented Tanahashi from doing anything. And here's the downside. I've often praised Zack Sabre Jr. because he's not a spot monkey. He's very grounded. He's more of a throwback to like wrestlers of the 60s, like Lou Thez or Billy Robinson, or perhaps the god of wrestling as he's known in Japan, Karl Gotch. But Tanahashi got hurt in this match. Yeah, he tore something in his elbow. The thing with Tanahashi, though, is that he's been working with injuries, and given his age and everything he's been through, he's 20 years in the business, he's broken down at this point. I don't want to say he's a has-been. I think he has a few more years left in him, but Tanahashi really needs to
take a break?
Yeah, take a break. I don't want him to end up like Mitsuharu Misawa did. For those who don't know what happened with Mitsuharu Misawa, Misawa had issues with his back. Everybody kept telling him he needs to go in for surgery, and Misawa ignored his advice and paid the price with his life. Took a back to belly suplex and never got up.
I don't want anything like that to happen, but yeah, it's unfortunate. But he still got some good skills there. He worked with Zack Sabre Jr. He had a really good match, I think, and Zack Sabre Jr. ended up retaining the title with a submission. It was a napalm death, or I forget what it was called, but it was an armbar transition to orienting to napalm death.
Orienteering with napalm death, and oh boy, that's a name for a move.
Yeah, it's a bizarre name, but couldn't just call it napalm death or napalm.
But, I think.
Yeah, oof, that looks nasty. But it was still a fun match, and I definitely we're checking it out. And Zack Sabre Jr. is still awesome. Tanahashi is also still awesome, and that's really all that matters, I think.
As I said, he should take some time off,
yeah.
And he'll be out with injury. But I seriously think that Tanahashi needs to take it easy.
And then we move on to my favorite match of the event. The IWGP Intercontinental Championship match between Tetsuya Naito and Kota Ibushi.
And I just gotta stop this because there's the video package they showed before
awesome.
this. Kota Ibushi said, "I've always had a special friendship with Tetsuya Naito." And to that I say, Kota, no, you're making Kenny cry!
Well, Kenny's not with them anymore. He's with the Bucks at A&W. And now
he said A&W.
AEW.
Who do you think you are, Vince Russo saying A&W?
I need an A&W root beer right now. But yeah, Kenny's gone. Now he's got to hook up with someone else right now. But yeah, locked up with Naito here, and they had hands down the best match of the night.
I don't think it's...
No, you like the Okada match better?
We'll get to it eventually.
Alright, but yeah, this was great. It only went 21 minutes?
It felt like it went on longer, and I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No.
I should mention this. During the New Japan matches, they had a Japanese announcer say in 5-minute intervals, like, 5 minutes have passed in this match. Or 10 minutes have passed in this match, etc. Because New Japan matches have a time limit.
Yeah, because if they go an hour, then
30 minutes. It was a 30-minute time limit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it went 20 minutes and 53 seconds, and it was a great match. Kota Ibushi is awesome.
He does a lot of high spots. Did his usual shooting star press from the floor.
I think behind Okada, he's like the second best Japanese wrestler they got right now.
I would say Naito is number 2. Mostly because Naito has a much easier definable character than Ibushi.
Ibushi, I will say, and I say this in a total heterosexual manner, he is a good-looking guy.
He's a hunk, as Joe from How To Wrestling says.
Yeah, and this was a lot of fun. That they did everything just
if you want to see just how great of a character Tetsuya Naito is, he threw Ibushi out of the ring, and as the referee was counting to 20, because in wrestling in Japan it's not a 10 count, it's a 20 count if you're outside the ring, Naito lay on his side, threw up his hand in sync with the referee.
1, 2, 3.
And I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it was awesome. But, yeah, and eventually, and then, I love how Kota also said one of his biggest heroes is Nakamura. And he did some Bomayes in this match.
Yeah, he hit a few Bomayes. He won with the Bomaye.
Yeah. It was it's called a Kamigori? Kamigoi?
Kamigoye.
Kamigoye. Yeah, and he ended up winning, and he's got the IC title again, and awesome. Good for Kota.
Well, this is curious now, because this was not a good night for Los Ingobernables de Japón, as they not only lost the tag titles, but also the Intercontinental titles.
There were a lot of title changes.
So now the question remains, what's the plan going forward? Who's Kota Ibushi going to feud with for the IC title? Because usually there's a clear picture. Because as I said, Jeff Cobb is going to feud with Taichi for the for the Never Openweight Championship, but we don't know what's going to happen next with the Intercontinental title. I don't think it's going to be with Ibushi versus Tanahashi. Maybe they're going to build to that. Maybe they won't. Gedo does a lot of long-term planning when it comes to booking storylines for NJPW. But
yeah, definitely the best match of the night. I haven't seen the Gargano Adam Cole match. I heard that was like the best match all weekend. Although I did hear a lot of people were pissed that Adam Cole lost. But this was definitely the best match I saw the whole weekend. At least from a wrestling standpoint. I think from a storyline standpoint, I'd say Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston was the best match. But as far as like wrestling goes, this was definitely my favorite match of the weekend.
And then we come to one of two main events.
The Ring of Honor title ladder match. It's the champion Jay Lethal versus Marty Scurll versus Matt Taven.
Matt Taven looks so good.
You know what he looks? He looks like a shaved Daniel Stern. That's what I thought of when I saw him. Daniel Stern with a mohawk.
He looks like Tim Rackers if he was in shape.
Yeah.
No offense to you, Tim. We love you.
Yeah,
but he's got Tim's mohawk.
Yeah. Oh, and Marty. I was rooting for Marty to win this match because he's not with the Elite anymore. You watch the new Being the Elite series, and he's not in there anymore.
Well, I think it's for the better with Marty.
Yeah,
because it allows him to forge his own path, his own identity.
The Villain Enterprises.
He doesn't need the Elite anymore. But I gotta give props to Marty in this match, and that is on his selling. Because the common thing you hear with most indie workers is that nobody sells anything today. Marty Scurll, and I do not know how legitimate this was. When
I saw him when he went over the ropes and tweaked his leg, I legitimately thought he was hurt.
Me too.
That's how good he is at selling.
Okay, I am a subscriber to Vince Russo's The Brand, and I am not ashamed to admit that. But Vince Russo does Raw and SmackDown reviews with Stevie Richards and Ben Heyman, and they talked about the whole how bad WWE has of building up Becky Lynch, like just poking holes in how they've been doing it. But one thing they pointed out was that Becky Lynch is supposed to be selling her knee the entire time. She gets into the ring, no problem, climbs the ring post with no problem, then goes back to selling it. It's selective selling. Marty Scurll, meanwhile, he sells his leg the entire match. Like, as soon as he gets out a ladder, he doesn't just climb it and the pain is magically gone away. He is struggling to get up that ladder. Like, he's literally hopping up the ladder with his one good leg. And I give Marty Scurll all the credit in the world. He's a better worker than people give him credit for.
Yeah. As far as the ladder match goes, for the most part, it started off very safe, And then Marty decides to make this an X
I thought
ladder.
that was Lethal who decided to wedge one ladder. I think the reason why Marty did it was to help him climb it halfway up. Because, as I said, he has a bum leg, and he's selling it all throughout the match.
Yeah, but it's like this combination X ladder, like an X Division ladder.
This ladder match has been sponsored by the letter X.
So Marty makes that. He whacks Matt Taven with it, but then Jay Lethal comes in and takes Marty out. He tries to separate the ladders, but he can't do it. So he throws the X ladder out of the ring. The ladder bounces, and it whacks an audience member in the face. I feel so bad, but I couldn't help but laugh.
And it's here that we get our chant of the night. That's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit. Apparently the fan was okay, and he was a good sport about it. They took him to the back to get him examined, and I think he got to meet the wrestlers, which, hey, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But
boy, if only we had gotten hit in the head by that table during when we were at the All In pay-per-view.
Oh,
we were right at ringside. And
if Joey Janela fell on me and knocked me out.
Oops.
Oh.
You should have sold, and they could have taken you to the back to check you.
I just want to say also, I really enjoyed this ladder match. It was my second match of the night, and I gotta say, the reason why I enjoyed it was because, and I told you earlier, a lot of indie ladder matches tend to be a lot of big spot fests. Like, it just gives them excuses to do crazy spots, jumping off ladders and what have you. That wasn't the case for a good chunk of this match. Like, the ladders were mostly there as window dressing or to be used as weapons. They weren't, like, jumping off ladders left and right. It was just, let's use these ladders as weapons. Let's wear each other down, then climb it.
It kind of started off with them, like, kind of just taking a ladder and doing a spot with it, because there was a spot at the beginning where, I forget who, I think it was Taven or whoever, but they set up a ladder over on the runway there.
Yeah.
The entrance ramp, and he just randomly puts a ladder across the runway and just dumps Jay Lethal.
But that's not really a high spot, per se.
It's just...
I'm not talking about, like, as I said, if they jumped off the ladder, that would be one thing. But, not a lot of jumping off ladders in this match. Mostly just using ladders as weapons or window dressing or as a gimmick. But most of the stuff that happened was either in or outside of the ring. But there was a big high spot in this match where Jay Lethal gets under the ring and he puts down a table. And sets Matt Taven up. Pulls a Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10, jumps off this tall ladder.
He did the Macho Man Randy Savage elbow off the ladder. And his gimmick is that he's Black Machismo.
Oh. But that had to have hurt.
He's got children. Yeah, but the code of this match was Matt Taven went underneath the ring and he got a purple ladder. Because he's part of the Kingdom. That's his gimmick, I think, and he's in purple is their color, I guess. And it's like the biggest ladder in the ring. So he just sets it up, and it goes right up to the same height as where the belt is. So he's going up, but then
Lethal comes up. He climbs up the other side of the ladder,
and then they stick like two ladders in between the rungs on the other side of this behemoth ladder, and they're all like doing crazy spots on them. Marty tries to use it to get up there because his leg is killing him at this point, so he's going to try and use this ladder to climb up. And, what's up, Nate?
Edit this out. The Devil's got the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Woo! Woo! But, Marty sets up a ladder so he can hoist himself up and have a better job to get up there. But Matt Taven comes in, hits him, was it a chair or a ladder? And Marty gets taken out. He ends up rolling right out of the ring, so he's dead. And then it's down to Jay Lethal and Matt Taven up on the ladder. Matt Taven manages to knock Jay Lethal out. He grabs the belt. Matt Taven is your Ring of Honor World Champion.
Oh, he got some good heat on this match.
I think behind Jay White, he was the second biggest heel on the show.
Mm-hmm. But this was a great match.
This was a fun match.
It exceeded I expected it just to be like a bunch of flippy nonsense, but it was a lot more than that. As I said, I like ladder matches where the ladders are used sparingly. I still feel that, having all these ladders, like, I feel the most amount of ladders you should have in a ladder match are 3. They had, 7.
Well, what if one of them breaks?
Well, just go to the back and get more.
There is an episode of Botchamania that I saw once where they're all they've got the shittiest ladders imaginable that keep breaking, and then it finally comes down to, let's just try and make stilts out of these ladders and trying to get up there, and they just can't do it.
That sounds like something out of GCW.
Holy crap, what a mess. But as far as a Ring of Honor main event goes, it was fun.
Actually, here's a little story for you. You know the Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match from WrestleMania 10?
Yes.
That ladder? That was the only ladder in the building.
Jeez.
I kid you not.
And it almost broke at one point, so what would happen if that thing broke? What would you do? Yeah, but this was fun, and which leads us to the main event of this show. The IWGP Heavyweight Champion Jay White versus Okada. Nate, this was your match of the night. Why don't you talk about it?
I actually got interviewed by the New Japan TV crew outside, and they said, who's your favorite wrestler? And I was tempted to say Bruiser Brody, because Bruiser Brody is my favorite wrestler.
He dead, homie.
I know, but, on the card tonight, I said, it has to be Okada. His ascent to the top has been an incredible story, and I said that I want him to win the belt, not for a smarky reason, but for historical purposes. Because for those of you who do not know, Japan is entering a new era. The Heisei era is ending. I think it has already ended, but the Heisei era is no more. Japan will now be entering the Reiwa era. And so, if Okada wins tonight at the Garden, it will mark the beginning of a new era for New Japan Pro Wrestling in the Reiwa era. It's only fitting that Okada, a man who rose up from the days of a young lion, a forgettable stint in TNA, feuding with the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, putting on classic after classic with the likes of Kota Ibushi, Tomohiro Ishii, and Kenny Omega, is the final champion of the Heisei era, the face of New Japan. Against him is his opponent, Switchblade Jay White.
AKA the biggest heel of the entire night. Everybody hates this guy.
Yeah, Jay White. Let me give you the storyline, because everybody says, there's no stories in New Japan. Well, there is a story behind this feud. Jay White debuted at the Wrestle Kingdom, last year's Wrestle Kingdom, I believe?
Yeah.
And Kenny Omega extended his arm out and said, hey, we want you to join the Bullet Club. Jay White refused. Instead, he teamed up with Chaos, which is Okada's faction. And so, Okada would wrestle with Jay White, even though there was clearly a rift between the two. They didn't trust each other. So after Okada lost the belt to Kenny Omega, Okada underwent a change in character. He dyed his hair red. He came out with balloons, basically showing that he was a defeated man, that he was naked, he was humbled. And as if it couldn't get worse enough for him, his manager and longtime friend Ghetto turned on him along with Jay White and joined the Bullet Club. And so Okada, realizing that he just couldn't keep himself down like this, decided to go back to being the Rainmaker. And so for Wrestle Kingdom this year, he brought back not just his old look with the dyed blonde hair, but his trunks! Yeah, gone are the pants. He's now wearing the trunks again. And yet he still couldn't beat Jay White, and I know I'm getting the details wrong here. He couldn't beat Jay White, and so if he could beat Jay White at the so-called world's most famous arena, then Jay White, then it would mean all the more to Okada. And to the world. And so, he went out there, and he killed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely killed it.
They had a really good main event. I like the Kota Naito match better, but I did really think this was a solid main event, and Okada showing how he's hands down one of the best wrestlers in the whole world right now.
He can do anything.
Yes.
He can be a high flyer. He can be a brawler. He can do technical wrestling. He is a jack of all trades that learned from one of the best systems in the business with New Japan's Young Lion Dojo. The only thing missing was all the money that came down.
Oh, yeah. You still got that Okada dollar with you from
All In?
All In, right?
Yeah, it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's around somewhere. Your table's a mess.
Yes.
But, yeah, they had a good match. This was definitely... Okada finally managed to conquer Jay White and finally get the championship back.
It was a good feeling.
It was
Minus
good.
the smarky "you deserve it" chants. I do not like those chants.
I don't understand. The only time I like the... Ooh, he found the Okada dollar. The only time I like the "you deserve it" chants is when, like, a heel gets his face kicked in or something.
Yeah, that I'm okay with. I also don't like the this... Can I just say also I'm tired of the "this is awesome" chants, because you're not rooting for anybody with the "this is..." The only time I chant is if it relates to somebody in the ring, and all throughout the match we had constant chants of Okada, Okada, and fuck you, ghetto. That must have resonated well with all the TV execs that were watching.
There was also a holy shit chant here and there, too. So.
Well, I prefer what I hear at Northeast Wrestling after a big spot. Because Northeast Wrestling is a family-oriented promotion, the fans go, "That was awesome."
Yeah, there was some "that was awesome" chants a couple times.
No, "this is awesome." I don't like "this is awesome." I'm okay with "that was awesome."
Yeah, it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but fun main event. Like the Kota match, I'll give it 10 stars, because why not? It's Okada.
It's my pick for match of the night. And
he's Mr. 6 stars.
No, that's Kenny Omega, the best bout machine, they call him.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I like Jay White, too. He's great as
he's
a heel.
He's a great heel.
He's what Finn Balor wishes he was.
I gotta go look back at some of Fergal Devitt's matches and hear his heel work, because he looks like a pretty scary heel with his frown.
But Jay White, though, he's got like this cunning grin.
Yeah, he's definitely a shitbag.
Mm-hmm.
So,
of course, Okada won with the signature Rainmaker, because it wouldn't be satisfying if he won with anything else. Because once you see that Rainmaker, it's over.
And I especially love that gimmick that where the camera like zooms out.
Yeah.
When he's posing about to do it, that looks cool.
Of course, if this was WWE, it would zoom in all the way up to his eyes.
Yeah. And then, Okada wins, and I don't think that they didn't air this after the match, but Okada cut a promo. It was, most of it was in English.
Yeah, it was in English, some in Japanese for the Japanese fans.
He thanked the fans, he thanked New York, said he loved working with New Japan. It was a real feel-good moment, and yeah, everybody got to go home happy. And, it was a long show. I think it went 5.5 hours?
Not counting the pre-show, it was just under 4.5 hours.
Somewhere around there.
Just a few minutes.
When you compare it to the 7 hours that WrestleMania was, it was shorter. But
well, here's the thing though with the format. New Japan shows don't drag. They don't fill the show up with, long interview segments or skits or sketches or what have you. It's very much just bam, 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 like that.
Yeah. This was a 12-match show, and it was. There was a part in the middle where it kind of started to drag.
The women's match to me was the low point, and I mean no disrespect. It's just
there was
no
not
real heat.
No, and then the beautiful people segment didn't help matters, but overall this was a solid show, and Nate and I managed to make it back to Port Authority and grab the last bus before everything left. So, hey. Be thankful we didn't take a train. Or ended up in the rain. So, yeah. My friend Pete, he went to WrestleMania.
Oh, I feel so bad for your friend.
I don't know. But, he lives in Cliffside Park, so it's not like a huge trip home. But, yeah, I don't know the whole story with the bus situation. I'm going to talk to him about that. Yeah, I'll have a WrestleMania review up maybe later this week. I did record one with Duke CT, but something was going wrong with the audio. So I'm either gonna just decide to review it solo, or I'll talk to Pete and see what he thinks about the matches. He's a big wrestling fan, big WWE fan. He loves Brock Lesnar for some reason.
I liked Brock Lesnar until I found out just what a shitty politician he was.
Same thing with like Ronda. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm very happy to have seen this show. It was a lot of fun.
I was happy to be there.
I was happy to be there.
Between this and All In, man.
Yeah, these are some great shows.
God bless. I thank God above for making all this possible.
The wrestling gods have gifted you.
I just wish that my wallet could forgive me.
Nah. Well, don't worry. I'll pay for the ticket. Yeah, but yeah, this has been a long night. We just filmed 2 reviews tonight. I did my Robot Wars Extreme Warriors Heat G review, which you can find on my Headbanger142 account. So if you're a Robot Wars or BattleBots fan, you can check that review out if you want. Until then, I'm the Hardcore Kid.
And I'm Otaku Nate.
Peace out, and pancakes and pinfalls.
Just tap out!